So the other day I was watching some people train for basketball, and I found it fascinating because it reminded me a lot of how one would prepare oneself against psychic attack. And I don't think I've ever seen basketball training before. I've watched a lot of games, and this particular day, the coach had set up these like life-size posters on metal stands with pictures of people on them, like blocking you, and sayings like "Believe in yourself, you have the power." And there were like five of these posters all around the basket, and people had to run drills where they had to run different permutations at different angles of basically what would happen on the court in a live game. But in the end, at the end of each drill, you had to position yourself in front of one of these people blocking you, one of the posters, and try and make a shot. And I found this fascinating because he was getting his players to have in their muscle memory some sort of like kind of unconscious knee-jerk reaction no matter what's happening. Like they needed to have experience with every single angle, every single permutation, and always someone blocking you when you want to make a shot, which is always what happens in a live basketball game. So what I found fascinating was noticing certain people not doing the drills properly. And what I noticed was if it was like in quotation marks too difficult for someone to make a shot standing right in front of the poster, they just stand to the side of the poster. And I was even wondering, like, did you get a special dispensation from the coach to like not do the drill? Because in real life, a person's going to be like in your face. You can't just stand to the side of them. The other thing I noticed was it was the people who were kind of shorter who kept avoiding this drill. The taller people stood in front of the poster, no problem, made their shots or made their attempts at shots. And what I also noticed was everyone preferred a particular side. So some people stood to the left of the poster, some people stood to the right of the poster. And I was thinking, if you're going to avoid the drill and you're going to pretend you can always stand to the side of your opponent, which isn't the case in real life anyway, you should at least alternate, go between the left and the right and the left and the right. So what I noticed was, and this is just what I think what was happening. I was noticing people's basketball ego identities, like the thing that they just don't want to do because it's hard for them, and they want quick success, kind of like a shortcut, which is basically going towards the side of evil on the spectrum of things. A lot of times evil starts to happen when you prefer convenience over what is true, has more integrity, is more authentic, but is harder. So if we eat like fake food, fast food, things that aren't real but mimic the thing that maybe takes hours to make in real life, or there's not that much quantity of that particular kind of food because it grows in season and perhaps people consider it expensive, so you get the cheaper imitation, right? So all this stuff is in quotation marks unhealthy, and it will literally shorten your life and give you disease, right? So like this kind of thing is evil. Cheating on a test is evil. Cheating in a game is evil. Taking shortcuts, like if you're running a race, which is a long race, so people aren't necessarily keeping an eye on you every single moment, and you just like cut through the bushes and you go, oh, I won, that's evil. We don't like any of this stuff, and yet people engage in these kinds of behaviors in their day-to-day life all the time. And our society rewards and encourages these kinds of shortcuts in many ways, especially in regards to food and things that substitutes that are in quotation marks cheaper, but more expensive than in the end, right? Like, so what I saw these people doing in these drills was in that of that ilk, right? In the moment, is it easier to make a shot standing to the left of the poster? Yes. Does that help you in the long run? It doesn't help you at all. The point of the drill is to get you used to adversity. And that's what I wanted to talk about in terms of dealing with entities and psychic attack. So a lot of people ask and want to know if they can just do some sort of like magic spell to protect themselves. Like, can't I just do something to protect myself from entities or from psychic attack? And that's kind of like this basketball person saying, can't I just do a magic spell or do something energetic to like make sure all of my attempts at making a shot make it in the basket without my practicing? The answer is no. Dealing with psychic attack is a skill that takes practice. There's no way around it. I mean, if you play an instrument, right, there's no way around practice. And in many cases, if you want to be good at a musical instrument, you have to practice 1 or 2 hours a day, every single day. I mean, it depends on the level at which you want to play, right? But I think people who play musical instruments know if you fall behind on your practice, it's bad. When you play, it gets bad because it's all in your body. And similarly with psychic attack, your practice in withstanding attack is what helps, in quotation marks, protect you. There's no true protection. It's more what veteran status do you have? So in ancient Roman times, their army was considered formidable. And in like, depends on how you think of the scholarship of this. But one main factor was that they had veteran professional soldiers who just had a lot of experience, whereas a lot of other armies had, potters and farmers just kind of thrown together and like something thrown in their hands that, resembles weaponry. So there is a difference between amateurs and professionals. And it's the same case when it comes to psychic attack. There are amateurs and professionals, or, the language in this case would be more like, inexperienced people and veterans. So if you don't necessarily conscientiously practice your ability to withstand psychic attack, the smallest psychic attack is going to do you in. And most people, and I feel psychic attack right now as I'm saying this part of this talk. Do you feel it? Are you feeling something right now? Truth be told, there was a lot of interference around this subject matter. Entities don't like it when we talk about them, especially ways to defeat them. They don't like it because, basically we are in spiritual warfare, and us talking about how to defeat the enemy makes the enemy mad. And they can hear everything we're talking about. So they're going to interfere in any kind of way possible, including, in your case, if you're listening to this, making you distracted, making you sleepy, giving you a headache, all kinds of things that would make it hard for you to listen to this. Because if you're experiencing that, that probably means you really need to listen to this. And whatever this talk talks about would help you defend against entities you have, or other entities in your life that like to eat off of your life force energy. So back to entities and psychic attack and just being a veteran at dealing with them and conscientiously practicing dealing with them. Most people who don't do this are under psychic attack all the time. And the lower in vibration you go, your life is just pure psychic attack, which means you are in hell. I mean, your life sucks. Bad things happen to you. You feel bad all the time. Your life circumstances are really shitty. Like you have a shitty life. It's hard for you to make ends meet. You don't feel good about yourself. There seems to be materially no way out. Like you are in a hole. Do you know what I'm talking about? A lot of people have experienced some version of this at some point in their lives. You've hit some sort of material world rock bottom, right? Some kind of difficult circumstance. Even people who seem more, let's say, either they were gifted with things when they were born, their version of a rock bottom will have a psychological difficulty that feels like there's no way out. Am I making sense? I'm not talking in specifics here. It is hard to talk about the subject matter. There's interference going on right now. So the lower in vibration you go, the more shitty your life is, and the more bad you feel about yourself, and you're under psychic attack all the time. So you're just basically food source for entities, and you probably have very bad boundaries, and it's really hard for you to enact your life purpose and be on point with your spiritual mission. It's probably hard for you to pay the rent or pay your cell phone bill. You know, like if you're low in vibration, that's going to be the kind of lifestyle you experience. The higher in vibration you go, the more choice you have, and it'll be easier for you to start working on things. When you're very, very low, you just need to survive. I mean, spirituality is like the last thing on your mind. Healing is the last thing on your mind, just like making ends meet on a material level. That's what you're looking at. But the higher in vibration you go, the more comfortable you are materially. You have the, in quotation marks, like luxury, the ability to have choice, and exercise your like God-given right to have choice and to heal. In which case, it's really important for you to notice when you're under psychic attack. Like, you have to understand what's real and not real. And a lot of what you experience is not real. A lot of conversations you have, people are not being real with you. They have some sort of mask. They kind of lie. You know, you might even ask, why did you say that thing to me that really hurt my feelings? And the response will be a lie. And even the person who's lying to you may not even realize that they're lying, but they're saying something to probably appease you and save the relationship, but still not tell you the truth. So the relationship is a lie. So in listening to the lie and not realizing it's a lie, you're engaging in evil behavior. Like it's not true or authentic. It doesn't have integrity. It's not life affirming. It's two people lying to each other and lying to themselves. What kind of interaction is that? And a lot of people's lives include a lot of interactions like this. And back to like fake food, if you're also eating fake food, then a lot of what goes into your body and is supposed to nourish you is actually taking energy from you also. So do you see there's many levels of being at which one can be engaged in evil and not realize it. And this is a part of the fabric of the spiritual warfare that we live in. So when you're higher in vibration, you have some kind of choice. It's really important for you to understand what's fake and not real versus true, authentic, has integrity. And the only way for you to be able to tell is to use your intuition. The thing is, you have to make the choice towards truth, towards real, towards authentic, towards having integrity. That means you have to have integrity yourself in everything you say and everything you ingest and the things you engage in. But you also have to say no to the people and the circumstances and the situations in which, and the foods that are not real. This will raise your vibration and help you deal with psychic attack even better. Because psychic attack lives where you don't want to go. And back to the basketball training and the people who kept avoiding the poster. If I'm an entity and you are you, and I know you very well, because entities have lived with you since you're probably 2 years old. So they know every single experience you've ever had. They know all of your traumas. They know all of your thoughts and your feelings. And they've probably manipulated a lot of your experiences all throughout your life to make sure that you are a good food source for them. I know that you like to avoid the poster and you like to stand to the left every single time. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to do this and block your shot. And then I know you're going to go to the left, and then I'm going to move to the left with you and block you there too. Do you know how much life force energy I can take from you by doing that? You're so predictable. Does this make sense? These people in the basketball training, in revealing to me just a casual witness, their basketball ego identity, I could tell if I wanted to play their enemy on the court, let's say, how to F with them. This person always goes to the left. They'll never make the shot if I do this. So all I have to do is do this and then move to my right, their left. And then they're going to try and make the shot there. I'm just going to knock the ball down. So easy. So when you engage in evil, which is all this fake stuff I'm talking about, the fake talking, like thinking your fake feelings are actually your feelings, and believing in your experiences that are not real, and then eating fake food, engaging in a job that you don't like, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All this fake stuff is you practicing over and over and over again how to avoid the poster in real life. So you're avoiding your practice. You're avoiding the ability for you to become a veteran when it comes to dealing with psychic attack, dealing with entities, and getting to the level of that like professional Roman soldier who can cut down like 6 farmers easily, you know? So you're really doing yourself a disservice when kind of ignoring the fact that we are in spiritual warfare, that you do have entities, that you're under psychic attack left and right from your own entities in your body and also other people's entities, and not caring if things are fake or real. So back to using your intuition. Your intuition is your only weapon against this. And therefore, you're honoring your intuition and following your intuition is extraordinarily important if you want to deal with your entities. So back to the people who want to have some like magical, easy thing to do to just defend against psychic attack. I've met a lot of different people with different kinds of spiritual beliefs who just feel like they're protected if they do X, Y, Z. And when they do these things, usually they give their willpower over to a different entity. So they're asking a different entity to protect them from the other entities. So then this entity that's protecting you, what do you think it gets from you in exchange for, in quotation marks, protecting you? It's like paying off one school bully to protect you from the other school bullies. You still need to pay off that one school bully who is on your side as long as you keep giving him energy, right? So in my opinion, if you want to take your defense into your own hands and be responsible for yourself and keep your willpower to yourself, then you have to practice. Okay. That is all I'll say today on the subject. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.